What's going on, you guys? Michael Elefante here. I usually don't have guests on the show, but today I have two very special guests from a company called Mendbnb, which is growing extremely fast. And the reason I have them on the show, my wife and I just onboarded them for two of our Airbnb properties in Nashville, Tennessee, and hoping to get them out to Gatlinburg as well. And Mendbnb, I'll let them explain their business model, but it helps us drastically manage our properties from afar. So I know a lot of questions I get from viewers, from people on TikTok especially, is how do you manage properties out of state? Because maybe you're in California where the housing market is really expensive, but you want to invest in Tennessee or in Texas somewhere or a Florida beach. And the biggest headache beyond finding good cleaners is having good handymen that can address any issues or maintenance on your property. So I want to let these guys introduce themselves, and then they're going to tell us a little bit about Mendbnb, how it got started, and what the business model really is.
Well, hey man, my name's Andrew. I'm a head of growth over here and director of sales, and pass the mic along to Thomas.
How you doing? Mike, thanks for having us on. Thomas Mills, a co-founder, COO of the company, and we're truly excited to get this thing started.
Good deal. If you guys could tell me what is Mendbnb for those that don't know, and I imagine most of you guys watching probably don't know, and tell me what you guys do, what the business model is, and where you're currently operating in, what cities.
Sure, totally. So imagine if you, the property manager or the property owner, could have unlimited access to maintenance, quality, reliable maintenance people with no call-out fees, right? So you just pay a monthly subscription, 24/7 will come out there and fix anything you need. Man, you're already saving money day one.
Yeah, for sure. And I would say the biggest headache for me and my wife, and we're planning on traveling a ton in the next several months, is anytime there's either a minor maintenance issue or something major, we have to kind of scramble to either find a specialist or find somebody or a friend even to stop by the house, which isn't always the best way to go about solving problems, especially when you're in a pinch and guests are actually in the house. So tell me a little bit about some of the issues you guys resolve. What does the typical maintenance call look like for you?
Well, the main issue we solved is the reliability side and the time-saving side for the homeowner. So if you do have a maintenance issue, you log onto the app, create a work order, submit it, add it to the schedule. We come out, make the correction, go back into the same work order, close it out, and you get the notification. It's 100% frictionless, hands-free, and a true problem solver for the host and homeowner.
That's awesome. And what cities are you guys in? Where did you start? Let's start there.
Yeah, we started here in Nashville, actually. Well, there's between here and Atlanta,
Right.
but mainly here in Nashville. It was kind of Thomas's brainchild. You kind of did everything yourself that first year. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
So, excuse me. So around December 1st of 2019, the idea came to mind, just becoming from a manufacturing position in engineering and maintenance, and I realized we could actually use the same principles that we use in manufacturing in the Airbnb community to basically keep up with reliability, predictability, preventative maintenance, corrective maintenance, all applied that to the house to make sure that the property never goes down due to a maintenance-related issue. So.
Yeah, and you keep asking where we're at. We started here. We just got back. Man, we spent 4 days this week in Palm Springs, California, onboarding 4 properties now out there. We got our first Mender set up out there. Thomas is on the phone with him every day, making sure that he has everything he needs from afar. We'll be going back there out in a couple weeks to onboard some more. It's exciting.
So it's Nashville, Atlanta, Palm Springs, and what are some of the markets you're looking to get into? Other than Gatlinburg, I keep harassing them. I'm going to get them out there. And if you guys have short-term vacation rentals, or if you're interested in their services, I think you guys do commercial and residential as well.
We do.
So if you're interested in their services, I'm going to drop all their information in the description below. So feel free to check it out. There is a link down there to request them to come to your city. So the more people that are requesting their services, the quicker that they can scale and get menders out there. And I know you mentioned menders. What's a mender?
Yeah, the Mender is the local maintenance guy essentially, but he's more than just a maintenance guy, isn't he, Thomas?
Yeah, the menders are technicians. Yeah, he's your on-call guy. Every house is assigned a mender, so you get to know your guy personally. That way you don't have multiple maintenance technicians coming in and out of your property. You feel more comfortable with him. The guests are comfortable with him. It's just a business model we try to roll out to make everybody happier.
Now, if there is an issue on site, and you were explaining this to me a little bit the other day when we first met, if there's an issue on site when a guest is there, how does that communication chain work? Does the guest reach out to the host, or do they have an avenue to reach directly out to you guys, or both?
We kind of leave that up to the host himself. There's multiple avenues. The guest can reach to the host if the host would rather that. But we also have a table topper in each property, letting the guests know they can reach us directly in case of emergency. Or we have the Amazon Alexa that we could, the guest could essentially talk to Alexa and tell Alexa the issue, and she communicates that directly to us.
Nice. And he did show me a commercial. Is it publicly available yet? The Amazon commercial? Yeah. I'm going to drop that below. This is like the coolest thing. I think technology has really enabled people like myself and other people out there to get into short-term vacation rentals without paying crazy fees for a property management company when it may not be necessary, especially if you only have a few properties. It doesn't really make sense to spend 30 or 40% of gross revenue paying somebody else to do what we can do with technology and honestly automate 90% of it. So I talk all the time about automating pricing with Price Labs, automating messaging with guests, doing YourPorter or Smart Bnb. So Mendbnb is like the final piece to the puzzle in my mind. And you guys can honestly manage properties from across the world as long as you have the right systems in place. So talk to me a little bit about the Amazon, I guess, Alexa integration and how that came about. Because I know you had some talks, some folks from Amazon reach out to you, right?
They did, yeah. So it was exciting. Amazon reached out to us about a month or so ago. And then 2 weeks ago, we actually had a call with them, and that was really exciting. I felt it was a little awkward. I showed up in a shirt and tie, and everybody else was wearing like sweatshirts and stuff. And I was like, okay, tech company, I'm an idiot. But it was fun. Basically, we are now an official Amazon enterprise partner.
Wow.
For their business solutions. So instead of trying to build everything on our own within the Amazon platform, we now have dedicated support staff over there. Frank is on the phone with them every day, making sure that everything is robust going forward. It's exciting.
Yeah, it is really exciting. So in the commercial, you guys are going to know, this is super cool. A guest at some point is going to be able to talk with Alexa and say, hey, Alexa, cabinet's broken. You know, someone needs to come fix it, or something more detrimental. Maybe there's a plumbing issue. So how would that work in the back end with your system? Because I know you guys have an app for guests or hosts, I guess, to go in and schedule maintenance when there's an issue. How does that work with Alexa?
So Alexa's programmed now to communicate directly with our portal. So when you have a maintenance issue, she'll create the work order, upload it to us, and that notifies us immediately. It's really seamless, piece of cake. And same thing. Once we get the work order, we come out and make the repair, close the work order out, and everybody's happy.
Yeah. And honestly, there's two really key things. Once you get people to book your Airbnb, at that point, it's all about providing the best possible experience. So I talk all the time about making your property Instagrammable, as in have a special moment in your house. You guys have seen the butterfly mural we have. We have some really cool outdoor entertainment spaces in our mountain properties. But the other two big things are, is it clean and presentable? And then how is the guest experience? If there's an issue, whether it be minor or major, some people are very particular about their reviews, and they are very reluctant to leave a 5-star review. And reviews are everything in Airbnb. So we get tons of reviews all the time about guest communication and how quickly we were able to resolve issues, even if it was really difficult for us. So using Mendbnb now is going to make that so much more seamless and provide an even better experience for guests. Because once you get positive reviews, it helps boost you in Airbnb search results, which is going to perpetuate a cycle of getting more bookings further out. You're going to raise your average daily rate. Your revenue is going to be boosted. More bookings, more reviews. So you see it's kind of like the circle of life in Airbnb, I suppose.
And it's funny, sometimes those reviews can be caused by guest user error. We have one of our clients who constantly sings our praises. She said that basically she had a situation where a guest called us out because there was a plumbing leak. And so Thomas went out there, and it wasn't a plumbing leak. It was somebody spilled a water or something. Somebody spilled a water bottle. And so we'll come out there for free because the subscription covers 24/7 maintenance. But if she would have called a plumber, it would have cost $150 plus, and guest error.
Yeah.
And a bad review.
Yeah, and a bad review. Yeah. So there's two big things from being an Airbnb host or a short-term vacation rental owner. Number one is the cost savings aspect, and number two is the peace of mind aspect. Now, the cost savings comes in the form of really two ways. Number one, which is the biggest thing, is you're paying a subscription model to have them be on call for you. So like you said, if there's an issue with the plumber, one, you have to scramble to find somebody. Maybe you have to pay an expedited service fee, and you're paying them just to come out and look at the property and then pay them to fix it. Even if it's a minor issue, it's probably going to cost you far more than the monthly subscription. So, and then the second part of that is saving money by not paying a property manager or maybe another co-host if you guys are capable of self-managing and automating things. So you don't have to pay up a crazy amount of your gross revenue. So that's a huge part of it.
That's it. And one more thing, we're going to book in that real quick, is so I come from the property management side of things. I used to be the national manager and then all these, roles. But the time that property management people spend trying to diagnose the issues before they even make the call to maintenance is completely negated now.
Yeah.
It's taken out. We do it all,
So what if because like some of the more common, and sometimes they're silly issues, but if a smoke detector's chirping, that's included in the service. You guys will come out and address that.
Yep, do that all the time.
Awesome. And tell me, Thomas was telling me the other day some funny stories. Maybe not funny, but some like I'm sure you guys have some wild stories as far as there's an issue at the house and you show up. Sometimes you probably don't know what to quite expect. Can you tell us a couple maybe crazy stories where it would have been a major headache for me, the host, to deal with it, but you guys were able to come out and solve the problem?
Oh, well, definitely the water leak was a good one. Yeah, as soon as we get there, we notice the water bottles pouring off the counter, and they're calling it a plumbing leak. Things like that. Garbage disposals. We've pulled out 20 fish hooks out of a garbage disposal before. Fish hooks. So, all kinds of craziness. I won't even talk about the bachelorette parties we've gone into, but you can probably imagine.
Yeah. And honestly, in Nashville, our target clientele are bachelorette parties or people coming to celebrate a special occasion, because Nashville is a super fun city to celebrate and splurge on a group of friends or family and just have a really good time. So yeah, I'm sure you get some interesting
definitely
stories. I'm sure you're going to only continue to build upon those stories.
Yeah, so the chirping smoke detectors, we go in once a year and swap out all your batteries. So we can pretty much eliminate that. Every year we give you new batteries, so there's no reason to ever have a chirping smoke detector again. So
nice. So I didn't even realize that. So some of the subscription is preventative maintenance work?
Yeah, we actually do 2 to 4 preventative checks a year. So no matter what, we're going to be in the property, combing it from top to bottom, making sure it's maintenance ready for your next guest, checking your HVAC, checking your plumbing, electrical, new batteries, new air filters, all those types of things.
Nice. And how many properties do you guys have currently on the Airbnb properties?
We're a little over 200 right now and
nice.
Growing fast.
Yeah. Talk about that growth and what's the biggest challenge for you guys? I know we talked about this the other day a little bit, and maybe COVID was somewhat of a blessing in disguise for you to kind of maybe slow the growth as you guys continue to learn how to scale appropriately.
So unfortunately for the Airbnb world, COVID did happen, but it actually helped us out quite a bit. It allowed us to control the growth of the company. Right out of the gate, we had a growth explosion about a month into business. We weren't ready for it, and COVID slowed that down for us quite a bit. We were able to sit back, restructure our business model, take a really long, deep, hard look at it, and make sure we were ready for the growth. But we did still grow month over month throughout the entire year of a pandemic year, which was great for us. Now that seems to be clearing up, vaccines available, people are starting to travel again and move around. The growth is happening and really fast. So March is already going to be a record month for us, and I think April will probably double March. So the growth is there. It's a fun ride. It's wild, and we're not going to be able to pull this one back.
So how much would a host pay? I already talked about the cost savings, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious. Is it just a fixed price per property, or does it vary based on size of properties or number of properties that maybe a person or a company is onboarding with you guys? Can you run over the pricing structure?
Totally, yeah. So originally we did do multiple property discounts, but as we sort of realized that our main client isn't the single homeowner. We certainly do have plenty of those, but we have been reached out to by so many property management companies. We kind of had to rethink our pricing model. So what we've done is we've created a property manager friendly pricing model. So right now, you don't get a discount for multiple properties because it's worked in. Here's what it is: $99 a month per property, and we used to do a $200 onboarding fee. Well, we're waiving that. So just $99 a month per property, and that's it. We'll still come out and do the onboarding. That's critical with our 70-point inspection, getting serial numbers for all the appliances to order parts easier, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, $99 a month.
Yeah, and that, I think, so for those that don't know, I've come from the tech world. I've worked at several different tech companies on the sales side, including Google, among others. But the biggest growth right now is cloud, automation, and subscription models for everything. And you guys, whether you know it or not, you are already consuming almost everything in your life at this point through a subscription model. Think of Netflix as the easiest example, or your iCloud, or if you pay for extra storage with Google. There's tons of different subscriptions that you guys are paying month to month, and it not only makes it easier to consume, but it makes it easier for you guys to predict future revenue and grow and scale appropriately as well, right?
It certainly does, yeah. All those softwares as a service, even Adobe's doing that now. We kind of try to do a service as a subscription. We turn it on its head a little bit. But yeah, that $99 a month, it gets you the 24/7 emergency maintenance, the preventative maintenance, the property cataloging, the Alexa dot, and then of course the month-to-month with no contract. So that's for $99. You could do a lot worse.
Yeah. So we already touched on this a little bit, but I want to come back to it, and that's the Mendbnb app, which seems to be pretty intuitive. My wife and I were toying around with it the other day because we actually were scheduling our first work order or two, which is great. So you guys will have some work this week. But talk about the app, and is it pretty user-friendly? How do people go in there and schedule work? What does that look like?
So all your properties have their own profile within the app. So as a user, you'll just log in to the app, click on the property that you want to create a work order in, create, submit, schedule the work order. Like I said, we'll close it out. It'll notify you saying the work has been done, before and after pictures, a description of what we had to do to make the repair, and it holds it in a log. So at any given point, you can pull up a maintenance record for your house going forward. So, I mean, it's similar to like a Carfax report for your house. So now we got a house fax. So you'll have a running log of every repair that's ever been made at your property.
Nice. You guys got to coin that name, House Facts
House
Report.
Facts.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on, and I was super jazzed up. As soon as we spoke a couple weeks ago about the business model, I was like, I have to have them on YouTube, because that's the most common question I get asked, or two questions is, how do you manage cleaning from a distance? And then the bigger headache, which is how to manage and schedule maintenance, whether it's recurring maintenance or kind of emergency maintenance, whether it's a minor or major issue. So you guys definitely help solve that for people. And I'm building a course, guys. I've told you guys on several different platforms. It'll be Airbnb Investor Academy. And once I launch that course, I will include it in the description below. You guys are welcome to look at the course curriculum there. Go see the link. Mendbnb, I have a whole section about that. Along with how to automate 90% of your Airbnb business. So regardless where you live, you guys can invest out of state and start cash flowing sooner. And I honestly and truly believe this, that investing in short-term vacation rentals for the everyday person that's still working a W-2 job, it is the fast path to financial freedom. So how quickly can you build up enough relatively passive income or residual income to replace or account for your monthly living expenses and or lifestyle? And honestly, my wife and I did it in just 12 months, and I'm still waiting for the pinch me moment. But this is just like the cherry on top, onboarding companies like Mendbnb that have intuitive technology to help make our lives easier. So Thomas, Andrew, thanks guys so much for being on.
Yes, sir.
Cool.